Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening.
The shuttle descended through the swirling mists of Xerxes, its landing gears kissing the vibrant, moss-covered ground with a gentle thud. James Carter peered out the viewport, his eyes tracing the rolling landscapes that were unlike anything back on Earth. Beside him, his co-pilot and old friend, Marcus Lee, checked the atmospheric readings. Breathable air, gravity a tad lighter than home. But this looks promising, James. Promising indeed, James replied, unbuckling his seatbelt. Let's hope the locals are as friendly as the scenery. The hatch opened with a hiss, revealing the lush greenery of Xerxes. Stepping onto the alien soil, James felt a surge of excitement. This was uncharted territory, a new world teeming with unknown possibilities. Marcus clapped him on the back, sharing a grin. No sooner had they secured the perimeter than a group of Xerxians approached. Their skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, their eyes wide and curious. The leader, a tall figure with a commanding aura, extended a hand. I am the Ran, designated communicator of this region. Welcome, humans, to Xerxes. James took Theron's hand, finding the grip firm and warm. Thank you, the Ran. I'm James Carter, and this is Marcus Lee. We come in peace and hope to learn from each other. The Ran nodded, his gaze drifting between the two men. Your arrival was foreseen by our scholars. We are prepared to engage in knowledge exchange. Please, follow me to the gathering area. As they walked, Marcus whispered to James, they seem very organized and open. Think there's a catch? Let's keep our eyes open and see how it unfolds, James murmured back. The path led to a clearing where more Xerxians had gathered, some younger, some older, all watching with bright, keen eyes. A younger Xerxian, her hair a cascade of light blue waves, stepped forward with a device that hummed softly. This is Lyra, the Ran introduced. She specializes in human studies. James smiled at her. Pleased to meet you, Lyra. I hear you've been studying us? Lyra's lips curved up in a smile. Indeed, James Carter. We find your species quite fascinating, particularly your social structures and technologies. In exchange for our hospitality, we hope to learn about your methods of sustenance production and your arts. We'd be happy to share what we know, James replied. We've brought data slates filled with information on agricultural techniques, renewable energy, and digital libraries of Earth's music and literature. Lyra looked delighted. A fruitful exchange then. Tonight, we will host a welcome ceremony. You will meet our scholars and leaders. We look forward to understanding each other. As the group moved towards a larger structure that spiraled upwards like the shell of a gigantic snail, Marcus nudged James. Looks like you made a good first impression. Yeah, James agreed, his gaze lingering on the intricate carvings of the structure's facade. Let's just hope the rest of the mission goes as smoothly. The Ran, leading the way, glanced back at them. Many of our kind are eager to hear of your Earth. The exchange of ideas is the cornerstone of progress, after all. James nodded, feeling the weight of his responsibilities not just to his crew, but to the potential of this new relationship. If they played their cards right, this could be the beginning of something monumental. As they stepped into the cool interior of the building, he felt a chill of anticipation. Xerxes was already proving to be a world full of surprises. Inside this spiraling structure, the air was cool and filled with the subtle scent of alien flora. Vibrant tapestries hung from the walls, depicting the history of Xerxes in a cascade of colors and abstract patterns. James and Marcus followed the Ran into a large, circular room where several Xerxians waited. James, Marcus, this is our council, the Ran announced, gesturing to the group. Here, decisions are made through collective understanding and debate. One of the council members, an elder with streaks of silver in his dark hair, stepped forward. I am Aaron. We welcome you, Earthmen. Your journey must have been long and fraught with uncertainty. Thank you, Aaron, James responded. The journey was long indeed, but the promise of new friendship and knowledge made it worthwhile. Marcus chimed in. We're eager to share and learn, to see how our worlds can benefit each other. Aaron nodded, his eyes thoughtful. Let us begin with an exchange of greetings, a tradition here on Xerxes. Please, share a customary greeting from Earth. James smiled and extended his hand as he had done with the Ran. A handshake. It signifies trust and equality among us. One by one, the Xerxean council members approached, trying the gesture. Their movements were cautious but curious, mirroring the handshake with varying degrees of awkwardness and amusement. Now, let us show you our greeting, Aaron said. Two Xerxeans stepped closer, their palms facing each other but not touching, and bowed slightly. It is a gesture of personal space and mutual respect. James and Marcus replicated the gesture, earning approving nods from the council. Excellent, Thuran said. Now, to deeper matters. What is the primary goal of your mission, James? Our goal is to establish a foundation of trust and cooperation, James explained. We believe that both our worlds can thrive from shared knowledge. Specifically, we're interested in your advancements in bioengineering and your philosophical schools of thought. Lyra, who had been observing quietly, spoke up. And we are intrigued by your digital technologies and your methods of conflict resolution. Our scholars have much to discuss with you. Indeed, they do, Aaron agreed. But first, let us enjoy a meal together. We have prepared dishes that we hope will be palatable to your tastes. As they moved to a dining area, the atmosphere lightened. The table was laden with an array of exotic dishes, some resembling earth vegetables, others completely alien. What is this dish? Marcus asked, pointing to a platter of spiral-shaped fruits. That is gelra, Lyra answered. It's sweet with a hint of spice. Please try it. The meal proceeded with lively conversation. James and Marcus described Earth's landscapes and cities, while the Xerxeans shared tales of Xerxes' oceans and floating islands. After the meal, Thuran proposed a tour of their capital city. You will see our universities, our energy plants, and our art galleries. We believe these will give you a fuller understanding of our culture. That sounds excellent, James replied enthusiastically. We're particularly interested in seeing how your energy plants work. As we are in your methods of renewable energy harvesting, Aaron added. Tomorrow shall be a day of learning and sharing then. As they left the dining area, Marcus leaned over to James. They're open and hospitable. Think there's anything they're holding back? James considered this. Every culture has its secrets, Marcus. For now, let's focus on building the bridge. Caution, but keep an open mind. The first day on Xerxes concluded under the twin moons of the planet, casting a serene glow over the alien landscape. James felt a mix of excitement and responsibility. This mission was not just about exploration. It was about laying the groundwork for interstellar diplomacy. As they returned to their quarters, the air was alive with the promise of the days ahead, each party eager to unveil the mysteries of their worlds. The morning light on Xerxes was diffused through high, thin clouds, casting a soft glow over the city. James and Marcus, accompanied by Thuran and Lyra, began their tour of the capital, starting with the University of Xerxes. As they walked through the grand entrance, Thuran explained, our university is not just a place of learning but a hub of cultural integration and innovation. Inside, the architecture blended natural elements with advanced technology seamlessly. Living walls of greenery intertwined with holographic displays and floating light fixtures. This is impressive, Marcus remarked, looking around at the bustling corridors filled with students of various species. Our first stop, Lyra said, leading them into a large auditorium, is a lecture on Xerxean philosophy. It's quite popular among our students from different planets. The lecture was already in progress, and the professor, a distinguished Xerxean with a gentle demeanor, nodded to them as they entered. The room quieted slightly as the group took their seats. Welcome, guests from Earth, the professor announced. Today, we discuss the principles of Zonar, the philosophy of understanding through direct experience. James listened intently as the professor explained how Zonar influenced Xerxean science, politics, and daily life, promoting a society that valued personal growth and community welfare. After the lecture, they toured the bioengineering labs. A scientist named Dr. Grell welcomed them with a warm smile. Here, we develop techniques that help us adapt our agriculture to different planetary ecosystems. We understand you have similar initiatives on Earth? Yes, James replied. We've been working on genetically modified crops to withstand extreme climates. Maybe there's potential for collaboration. Dr. Grell showed them a series of plant specimens that thrived under varying light and temperature conditions. These are designed for off-world colonies. Perhaps you'd like to see the simulations? Marcus, always keen on technology, was fascinated. Definitely. Learning how you simulate entire ecosystems could greatly help us. The tour continued to the energy plant, where Xerxian technology harvested geothermal and solar energy efficiently. Our systems are designed to be fully sustainable and nearly self-maintaining, explained a plant manager named Torin. We prioritize harmony with our environment. That's similar to our approach, but you seem to have mastered integration better than we have, Marcus noted, inspecting a control panel. Our next stop, Duran said as they left the plant, is our art gallery. You'll find that Xerxian art is deeply influenced by our philosophy and our respect for nature. The gallery was a testament to Xerxian creativity, featuring sculptures that moved with the flow of air, paintings that changed colors with the light, and interactive digital installations. Art helps us express what science cannot, Lyra explained, guiding them through the exhibits. It captures our emotional response to the universe. James was particularly struck by a sculpture representing the Xerxian concept of community. It's beautiful. Art really does transcend language and species, doesn't it? It does, Lyra agreed, her eyes reflecting the gallery lights. It speaks to the heart, regardless of where that heart comes from. As the day concluded, Duran invited them to a traditional Xerxian dinner at his home. Over dishes that were now becoming more familiar, Duran raised his glass. To new friends and new understandings. May this be the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Cheers to that, James and Marcus echoed, feeling more connected to this alien world than ever. The day's experiences had broadened their perspectives and deepened their appreciation for Xerxian culture, setting a strong foundation for future collaborations. The following day dawned clear and crisp, a gentle breeze stirring the leaves of the alien flora as James and Marcus prepared for another day of cultural immersion with their Xerxian hosts. Today, they were scheduled to visit several significant cultural sites around the city with Duran and another council member, Dak, who specialized in Xerxian history. As they walked towards the city center, Dak explained, "Today, we'll explore our historical archives and some of our most revered monuments. Understanding our past is essential for appreciating the present in Xerxian culture." Their first stop was the Hall of Records, a vast, dome-shaped building filled with scrolls, digital screens, and holographic projections. "Here we keep our histories," Dak said, waving his hand over a sensor that brought up a holographic display of ancient Xerxian texts. "These documents date back thousands of cycles before we reached the stars." Marcus, ever curious about alien technologies, leaned in closer. "How do you manage data preservation over such long periods?" Dak tapped on the display, bringing up schematics of their data storage technology. "We use crystalline matrices for long-term stability. They are virtually indestructible and degrade very slowly." James, interested in the content itself, asked, "Could you show us something about your early governmental systems?" "Of course," Dak responded, and with a few gestures, detailed holograms of ancient Xerxian governance structures appeared. "We have evolved from a fragmented system of rule to a unified planetary council. Much like your own history of nation-states merging into larger unions." The dialogue opened up into a deeper discussion about the evolution of societies, both human and Xerxian, highlighting similarities and differences. James and Marcus shared insights from Earth's history, drawing parallels that bridged their worlds. Leaving the Hall of Records, they proceeded to the Monument of Unity, a towering structure located in the heart of the city. This monument was erected to commemorate the end of our planet's division era, Duran explained as they stood before it. "It symbolizes our commitment to peace and collective prosperity." Marcus looked up at the towering spire. "It's impressive. We have similar monuments on Earth. They serve as reminders of what we've achieved and what we strive to preserve." "Yes," James added, "monuments tell stories not just through their presence, but through the ideals they embody." As they continued their tour, the group made their way to a public square where a live artistic performance was taking place. Artists used light and sound to create dynamic scenes that told stories of Xerxian folklore. Dak invited them to participate in an interactive art piece. Art on Xerxes is often participatory. It's another form of dialogue. James and Marcus joined in, using handheld devices to add their own light patterns to the performance. The experience was mesmerizing, and both felt a profound connection to the Xerxian way of life. After the performance, they visited a local cafe where they discussed their day over cups of a hot, sweet Xerxian beverage. "Today was truly enlightening," James remarked. "Seeing your cultural expressions and historical pride gives us a much deeper understanding of your people." Dak nodded, sipping his drink. "And hearing about Earth's history and cultural symbols has given us a greater appreciation for your journey. It's clear that despite our differences, there is much we share." As the sun set over the city, casting long shadows and bathing the streets in golden light, the group shared a quiet moment of reflection. They had not only traversed physical distances, but had also bridged gaps of understanding and perception. The Rand summed up the day as they walked back to their accommodations. "Today was about seeing and participating, about truly understanding through experience. We hope this deepens the bonds between our people." "It has," Marcus confirmed, looking over at James, who nodded in agreement. The day had indeed brought them closer to the Xerxians, forging bonds that would support the delicate work of diplomacy and friendship in the days to come. The evening air on Xerxes was warm and laced with the sweet, earthy aroma of flowering trees that lined the narrow streets. After a day filled with explorations and cultural exchanges, James and Marcus were feeling a renewed sense of connection with their hosts. They learned so much, but there was still a layer of mystery in this world. "Join me tonight for a traditional Xerxian evening," Lyra invited James as they walked back toward their quarters. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, and there was a gentleness to her tone that James couldn't ignore. Marcus clapped James on the shoulder. "You go ahead, man. I'll catch up with the Rand for some local drinks." He smirked, giving James a knowing look. James chuckled. "All right, don't get into too much trouble without me." As James followed Lyra to her home, he couldn't help but marvel at the beauty of the city at night. Soft lights illuminated the walkways, casting a serene glow over the alien architecture. Once they arrived at her residence, a comfortable, dome-shaped structure lined with vibrant fabrics and low cushions, James felt immediately at ease. "Would you like some Evian tea?" Lyra asked, gesturing to a small, intricately decorated pot on a low table. "I'd love to try it," James replied, taking a seat as she poured the tea, its scent warm and slightly spicy. As they sipped, Lyra leaned closer. "So tell me, James, what brought you to Xerxes? Was it just duty, or is there something more that drives you?" He paused, thinking. "I think it's curiosity. The idea that there's so much out here we don't understand. Meeting your people has, well, it's shown me how much we have to learn." She smiled, her gaze soft. "It's rare to find such openness. Many come with walls, protective layers. But you seem to embrace the unknown." James laughed softly. "I'd say that's you too. You're equally curious about us." "Perhaps," she murmured, her eyes lingering on him. "But your ways, they are so different. I find them both intriguing and comforting." A pause hung in the air, then Lyra reached out, her hand lightly touching his. "I've read about human connections, the way you bond with each other. Here, touch is a way of conveying trust." Slowly, James took her hand in his, the warmth of her skin a gentle reassurance. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the only sounds those of the soft rustling of leaves outside. "James," Lyra began, a playful glint in her eye. "It's said that human males have, too?" He laughed, realizing what she was referencing. "You heard right." She grinned, visibly excited by the discovery. "Our males have only one." "This excites me," she admitted, her voice lowering as she leaned closer. They shared a quiet, mutual gaze, and the distance between them seemed to disappear. She touched his cheek, drawing him in, and slowly, they began to explore this unexpected connection, each touch and glance bringing them closer. As the night deepened, they shared a closeness that words could not capture, a merging of two worlds through trust, curiosity, and warmth. Morning light filtered gently through the translucent panels of Lyra's home, casting soft shadows across the room. James lay awake, listening to the distant hum of the city and processing the events of the previous night. The intimacy they had shared was unlike anything he had experienced, both thrilling and grounding. Lyra stirred beside him, her silvery hair shimmering in the early light. Noticing him awake, she gave him a sleepy smile. "You're already up?" "Just thinking," James replied, returning her smile. "Last night, I didn't expect it to feel so natural." She chuckled, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "For me as well. Our connection is rare, James. I don't think I've ever felt this comfortable with another." Just then, a soft chime sounded from the corner of the room. Lyra glanced at it, her expression shifting. "The council," she murmured. "I was supposed to meet them this morning." James sat up, gathering his thoughts. "It's all right. Duty calls." "Will you come with me?" she asked, a hint of hesitation in her voice. "I think they'd benefit from hearing your perspective on everything we've shared these past few days." He nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "Of course. Let's go make the case for our worlds coming together." As they walked through the streets, they met Marcus along the way, who raised an eyebrow as he noticed the two together. "Morning, James. Looks like you've had quite the educational experience." James smirked, nudging him. "You could say that. How was your night?" "Oh, enlightening," Marcus replied with a grin. "Thuran showed me some local customs, but it sounds like your evening was a little more personal." They arrived at the council chamber, where the other Xerxian leaders awaited. Thuran greeted them with a respectful nod. "James, Lyra, Marcus, welcome. We were just discussing your perspectives and experiences here." Lyra took a seat beside Thuran. "I think it's important for the council to hear about our cultural exchanges firsthand." James shared stories of Earth's diplomatic efforts and the simple acts of trust-building he and Marcus had practiced on Xerxes. The council members listened with interest, some nodding thoughtfully. Finally, one of the council elders leaned forward. "Your visit has revealed more than we anticipated. You've shown us new possibilities." Marcus added, "I think it goes both ways. This experience has changed how we see the universe. Each small connection, like the ones we've made with you, helps bridge gaps we thought were too vast." The council members conferred quietly, then Thuran spoke. "We agree. This visit has set a new standard. We look forward to deepening our ties with your people." As they left the chamber, Lyra squeezed James's hand, her eyes bright. "This is just the beginning, James." He smiled, feeling a warmth that went beyond diplomacy. "It's a good beginning," he replied, and together, they looked forward to a future brimming with possibility. The afternoon sun cast long shadows over the Xerxian city as James and Marcus sat by a small fountain in the public square, watching the locals go about their day. The past few days had been filled with discovery and connection, but now, with their mission nearing its end, they felt a mix of accomplishment and melancholy. "Hard to believe we're almost done here," Marcus said, breaking the silence. James nodded, his gaze distant. "Yeah, feels like we just got here, but also like we've lived a lifetime in these few days." Marcus studied him, a smirk pulling at his lips. "Lyra has something to do with that feeling, I bet." James chuckled, shaking his head. "She does. But it's more than that. This place. It's made me realize how small we are, and yet how much potential we have. I didn't expect to feel so connected." "Same here," Marcus admitted. "I came to Xerxes thinking we'd be the teachers or the ones bringing something new. But they've shown us just as much. Maybe more." Just then, Thuran approached, his long strides purposeful as he joined them. "James, Marcus, I'm glad I found you here. I wanted to discuss something." "Of course, Thuran," James replied, turning to face him. "What's on your mind?" Thuran hesitated, his gaze thoughtful. "Your time here has brought clarity to us. We were hesitant to pursue a deeper alliance before. But now, seeing how you two have embraced our ways, we're reconsidering." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "You mean, you were uncertain about us?" Thuran nodded. "Indeed. We've had encounters with other species who were not as receptive as you have been. Many prioritize power over connection. James glanced at Marcus before replying. It's true we've had our share of conflicts on Earth, but that's exactly why we're open to learning. If anything, our history has taught us that real growth comes through understanding. Duran looked relieved. That's precisely what we hope to find in your people. Lyra spoke highly of your perspectives, James. She believes this is the start of something meaningful. Marcus grinned, nudging James. Looks like you've made quite an impression, buddy. James laughed, shrugging. I think we all did. This mission was a team effort, and that's exactly what I want the Council to understand. Duran extended his hand to each of them. Then let us meet once more, this time with a view toward future steps. Our worlds are different, but if we can navigate those differences together, we'll both be stronger for it. As they shook hands, James felt the weight of the moment settle over him. It was the culmination of days spent listening, learning, and connecting on levels he'd never expected. We'll be there, James said, looking over at Marcus, who nodded in agreement. This is just the beginning, but it's a solid start. The final morning on Xerxes arrived with a sense of calm and quiet resolve. James and Marcus stood by their shuttle, preparing for departure as the Xerxean city slowly came to life behind them. The air was thick with the bittersweet weight of farewells. Duran approached, his expression as steady as ever, though a hint of emotion softened his usually stoic gaze. James, Marcus, it's difficult to express what your time here has meant to us. Marcus gave a small, appreciative nod. We feel the same way, Duran. This mission was more than we could have ever anticipated. We didn't just visit another planet. We made friends. Lyra appeared beside Duran, her eyes meeting James's with a look that spoke volumes. She stepped forward, holding a small object wrapped in silken cloth. James, I wanted you to have this. It's a symbol of connection here on Xerxes. James carefully unwrapped the cloth to find a pendant carved from a smooth, translucent stone, swirling with colors that seemed to shift with the light. Lyra, it's beautiful, he murmured, touched. Thank you. I'll keep it with me always. She smiled, her voice soft. It's a reminder that no matter the distance, our worlds are bound by the experiences we shared. Marcus let out a low whistle, admiring the pendant over James's shoulder. Looks like you've got a piece of Xerxes to carry with you. And one for you as well, Marcus, Duran said, handing him a small, intricate device. This is a Xerxean data prism. It contains our collected stories, philosophies, and sciences. Think of it as a piece of our history that you helped shape. Marcus's eyes widened as he turned the device over in his hands. I'm honored. I'll make sure Earth scientists handle this with the respect it deserves. As the group shared a final, quiet moment, James felt a mixture of gratitude and sadness. We'll be back, he promised, his voice steady. This isn't goodbye. It's just, see you soon. Duran clasped his arm. And when you return, we'll be ready to take the next step together. Lyra reached out, her hand lingering in James's. Remember, James, the distance between stars is nothing compared to the connections we form. He squeezed her hand, a warm smile breaking through his solemn expression. I won't forget, Lyra, and I'll be counting the days until we meet again. The shuttle door slid open, and as they climbed aboard, James and Marcus turned for one last look at the friends they were leaving behind. As the engines roared to life, they raised their hands in a final wave, feeling the weight of their departure, but also the promise of return. As the shuttle rose through the Xerxean atmosphere, Marcus leaned back, casting a glance at the pendant in James's hand. So, that's it, huh? One chapter closes, another one waits. James nodded, his gaze fixed on the view below, the landscape of Xerxes growing smaller as they climbed higher. Yeah, but this chapter changed us. And when we come back, we'll be ready to make something even greater. Their shuttle soared into the darkness of space, leaving Xerxes behind but carrying its impact within them, connections that would guide them through the stars.